What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Gosh, where to start? That's a good question. So, still keep poking and pecking on the old prepper channels. I am at a complete loss. I really, truly am. I'm not just saying that. Those aren't just words. I am at a total loss that all these different people, not one of them thought that, oh, yeah, we might want to come up with a plan to, I don't know, be able to fuel combustion engines without the help of big refineries and big oil. Maybe we might need that equipment. Maybe, it just blows my mind. And the only reason that I can foresee that it has slipped every single one of them has to be Hollywood. It's got to be TV. It's got to be. It's got to be. Because nothing else really makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. Why somebody would have enough foresight that they have to store enough food for rough times, knowing that there's a good chance at the end of those rough times that they were going to have to provide for themselves, and then dropping the ball because they have no mechanical means to be able to. There was a whole lot of knowledge and a whole lot of equipment way back when, way before our time. And so the loss of modern machinery, but, well, there really wasn't much of a such thing as modern machinery, but, it wouldn't have been as much of a big impact back then because they had the training, they had the knowledge, they had the equipment, they had the animals. We don't have that. Not even the beginning of it. The only ones that do are people like the Amish. I don't know if you've checked, but there aren't many of them. Not like enough to feed the nation. And it just blows my mind. I said something over on Travis's comments tonight. And I don't know, his reply was like, what are you even talking about? What is he, the prepared homestead or some crap like that? Homestead doesn't understand that you're going to have the use of the equipment in order to be able to plant, harvest, and process enough food for any amount of people whatsoever to survive. And that would be just even if you're looking at a tiny group, say 20 people, you realize to have enough food, have enough grain and everything, and let's say you do have chickens, let's say you do have cows, let's say you do have sheep. Well, guess who's got to grow all that feed? Guess who's got to plant it? Guess who's got to harvest it? Guess who's got to process it? And it's like they hadn't even thought of that. And I know that there's probably some that is, I've got my little tabletop mill. Right? And that's great for your family. But there's a whole lot of other people out there too. And before everybody gets the notion that, it doesn't matter because they didn't get ready. Well, you think it didn't matter because they didn't get ready until your house is burning down because it didn't matter, they didn't get ready. And you're sitting in there with a smile on your face, grinding your flour. It really is that ridiculous. It really truly is, folks. They have to get their information from Hollywood. That's got to be it. Because, and it's all of them. And they're just like way off. Way off. It's like a Hollywood-inspired SHTF in their minds. Mad Max and They refuse to pick up a book and actually try to learn something. No, let's just reflect on all those cool movies and TV shows we've seen. You know, where nobody had to figure out how to get the machines going because it just magically, it's the end of the season, yo. We'll see next season. We'll see if they figure it out. I wonder if real life works that way. I wonder if we can just starve and then just wait till the next season to see if we figure out how to fix it. Or I wonder if we've got one shot and we damn well better get it right. Yeah, I'm thinking the latter. Gotta get the machines going. I know I make it sound like a condescending dick. Probably because I can be a condescending dick. But I become a condescending dick when I've been saying the same fucking message for over a decade. And I can count on one fucking hand how many people outside of my group has actually picked up on it. Has actually taken action on it and has actually built or even started to build. There's actually one now. Actually, that's number 4. So, outside of my group, the cat that's just now starting his is number 4. Outside of my group, and over a decade that I have been talking about this. So, give me some slack here. A little room to be a condescending dick. A decade gets old saying the same message. If we don't get the machines going, we don't stand a chance. It's really that unbelievable. So anyway, and that's why I thought it was great when I read that book 5 years after. And it mentioned, they called them charcoal burners, but it's the same thing. I mean, I guess you could charcoal your wood, and probably it would probably burn much more efficiently as far as producing the hydrogen and stuff. But you can also just use wood chunks, and wood chunks work fine. My guess is, I'm sure that William Fortune probably done due diligence and then some when it comes to gasifiers. He's probably researched more stories about people that's done it as far as their experiences with it and stuff, because that's what he would be after. And I could see the benefit of using charcoal over wood chunks, because one of the very important places of that device is in the burn chamber, right where you bring your oxygen in to meet your flame. You have to have enough open area in there for the oxygen and whatnot to get around, to be able to get that wood really fired up, because that's the whole point. You have to burn the wood at such a hot temperature that it starts off-gassing, and that's where you get your wood gas. And so, from my experience, from individuals that I have helped, and there's not been a bunch, however, I said outside of my group, there was quite a few people in my group that were working on these, and so I helped the majority of them. After they got the systems together and stuff like that, I just basically had to show them how to tweak it. I really can't explain how important it is if people are serious about survival and serious about long-term survival. we can't just throw away the combustion engine overnight. That's just as goofy. You got the same people, right? Because most preppers are conservative minded. You got the same people that are making fun of the electric car owners and all of that stuff, the electric car companies, but they aren't doing anything to to help save their combustion engine after the refineries aren't pumping out fuel. Nothing. Nothing. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know if they're going to install a bunch of treadmills on combines or something like that, and that's their plan on, I don't know, because it's been crickets. They don't have a plan. But they all think they damn well deserve a paycheck. Ain't that a bitch? They all deserve a paycheck for helping you get ready as they bring you to the edge of the cliff and drop you off and say good luck. It's sad and it's sickening. And that might be another bit of a reason why I'm a condescending dick about the subject. I really don't look highly on people that run around with the claim that they're helping people in order to make money, and in the end, they're not even really living up on their end of it. Most of the content right now from those in the community is about social issues, about news issues, and it's not done to inform people. It's done to keep them kept in a state of, oh my God, what's going to happen next? So they keep clicking on every single new video that they make. It's disgusting. It is literally whoring with Babylon. And you got a fair amount of these channels out there acting like they're doing it representing the Father, while they're doing everything they can to move up on the algorithm list, whoring with Babylon, for more personal gain. And trying to somehow make it seem like it was the Father doing it. Yeah. It's not that the Father doesn't bless us. But there's a point in time when you kind of have to look around and you have to ask yourself, is this the Father's doing or something else? I wouldn't be speaking those words if I didn't come from experience. If I wouldn't have been in those shoes, been one of those people. And I had myself convinced I was doing it for the Father. I wasn't. That's why I make damn sure this go around I got a second chance. And I make damn sure this go around I'm going to keep my head down and I'm going to keep moving forward. Not going to stick my head out and beat my chest and woo, look at me, look at me. I done pissed him off a good time and know the outcome. That's why I've struggled so hard to get back to where I am today. And I'm good with it. I am more than good with it. In fact, believe it or not, I appreciate it. I thank the Father for every moment of hard time. Because after all, what's important to me is that I get it, that I understand. That's all. That's all. Anyway, it just blows my mind, folks. We're here to help people. Let's help people. Gotta get the machines going. Anyway, aside from that, mentioned the book. I finished the book today. For those that don't know, I'm talking about 5 Years After, the fourth installment by William Fortune. And I didn't intend to, but I just kept, getting suckered into the next chapter. And then the rest of it kind of really wrapped up pretty quick. I'm not going to speak much here because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But tomorrow, I do fully plan on making a review video. Overall, it's an absolute, read it, no doubt. But I didn't like it as good as the prior three, and, there are some things that I will just discuss in that review, that are kind of, it's a good book, though. It's a good book. It was masterfully written, without a doubt. The writing quality of it, incredible. Anywho, aside from that, I had a couple other things I was going to mention. Got that done. There was something else I was messing with today. I messed with Substance Painter for a little bit. Played around with planes a little bit. Trying to just figure out what kind of techniques I want to play with. I thought there was something else too. Trying to think. It'll probably come to me. I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me. I do have, I have quite a few actual articles up. Although I'm keeping an eye kind of across the street. I don't know if all hell's gonna break loose over there or not. So, I don't know any of the information to be for certain, but I think the landlord's over there. And I don't think his tenant's all that good of a tenant. I don't know what's I don't know what the hell. Man, I'm telling you, messed up world. I guess we could just get started on these. I'll kind of try to make them short. What do I got here? Looks like 8. I'll kind of try to make them short. I am not up for a super long news night anyway. I may be done with the week. I mean, I am just... When I say burnt out, I'm not burnt out doing the news. I'm not burnt out in preparedness or anything like that. I'm burnt out at talking to the wall. And I'm not talking about you folks that come to the show. You folks listen. You're here. You listen. But I have said enough. Far more than enough. To far more than enough people. I am at a complete loss as to how not one, but all of these folks have totally not thought about returning or trying to return to normalcy in a manner of being able to eat. Not saying complete manner of normalcy, but, you might have to be able to produce and process enough food for your livestock, for your family, for your community. And I don't think we're going to get out there with a bunch of soy and some rocks to grind the wheat berries. I'm speechless. I don't understand. It's got to be Hollywood, and you can't. That's the thing. That's the frustrating part. You can't break through it. It's like a wall. It's like a wall that you can't break through. It's so weird. Anywho, so guess first up we'll talk a little bit about the Freaky Freaks. I'm sorry, but that's just the attitude I'm gonna have with it. It is what it is. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Get off my lawn. That's pretty much where I stand these days. Church of England priests want change to LGBTQ policy, says a survey. Now, I used a different picture in all honesty for the thumbnail because it looked, I don't know, in my opinion the picture I used was more, I don't know. The funny thing was, hang on, I don't know if any of y'all picked up on it. I sure did. It's alright. Let me blow this puppy up just a little bit. Take a look on Dad's face. He's like, yeah, great. A fucking picture. Great. So, I thought that was kind of funny. I'm telling you. It's insane. So, let's see what they want to do. Church of England clergy want to see priests allowed to marry gay couples, gay priests to wed, and see the Anglican teachings against homosexuality changed at an upcoming General Synod, according to a survey by the Times. The majority of almost 1,200 respondents would also welcome a female leader and believe Britain is no longer a Christian country. Sorry. The survey, published on Tuesday, is the first of its kind since 2014, when the UK legalized same-sex civil unions. At the time, 51% of Anglican clergy said same-sex marriage was wrong, while 39% supported it. Let's see. Less than a decade later, 59% would bless same-sex couples, while 32% would not, and 63% think the Church of England should allow homosexual clergy to enter same-sex civil union. I mean, it's kind of crazy where this is going. According to the Times, 53.4% of the priests favor changing the law to allow them to marry gay couples, while 36.5% are against it. However, only 49.2% would be willing to officiate the same-sex weddings, while 41% would not. So, I can remember even if you brought up two things. If you brought up either a priest getting married, just a normal man-woman marriage, or a female wanting to be a priest. Now, I'm not saying a pastor, I mean a priest, as in like Catholic priest. And if you even brought it up, oh, hell no. That wasn't that damn long ago. Holy hell. And I did, when they were talking about letting the priest get married and stuff, and considering letting females become priests, I was like, yeah, they just flipped the Bible completely upside down. Completely upside down. There's reasons for all of the above. Anywho, just insanity. Shift of gears here. U.S. headed for hot war with Russia, says Tucker Carlson. U.S. proxy war against Russia is likely to become an open war within the next year, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson said on Wednesday. The ruling Democrats need the war to keep power, and too many Republicans are willing to go along, he added. They will do anything to win, Carlson said in an hour-long interview with radio host Adam Carolla. He argued that another coronavirus lockdown is unlikely, as too many people would refuse to comply, so they're going to go to war with Russia, and that's what they're going to do. There will be a hot war between the U.S. and Russia in the next year, Carlson said. I don't think we'll win it. We're already at war with Russia. Of course, we're funding their enemies, he added. The U.S. has allocated over $130 billion for Kiev over the past 18 months for weapons, military equipment, ammunition, and the salaries of government officials. I think that could easily happen, the former cable TV host continued. I think we could Tonkin Gulf our way into it, where all of a sudden missiles land in Poland. The Russians did it. Our NATO ally has been attacked. We're going to war. I can see that happening very easily. And it goes in talking about the Gulf of Tonkin and whatnot. I don't know on that. Clearly, yeah. He's right. That is certainly a possibility. I don't know how much of a probability. I don't know. At this moment in time, at least my personal gut feeling, I don't know. It doesn't, Russia, Ukraine at this moment in time is not really raising hackles. Now, and I know that there's been a lot of titting and tatting, but, again, it's not really raising hackles. It just not right now. Like I've said, I'll say again, out of all the countries, North Korea is where my attention is. I'm also making sure I don't overlook Iran. So, something could be going on, be up, or about to be up, I should say, between Israel and Iran. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I'm still thinking on, still working on. That whole treaty that was recently signed, and that was in that one report I did the other day when I read that AI thing. Yeah. I don't know if I can open that there or not. Yeah, I can, but it's going to be small for you. I'm looking for it. Yeah, here. Let's see. Historic peace deal between Israel and Palestine, which was signed in Washington, D.C. earlier this morning. This was the other day I did this. The deal, which was brokered by U.S. President Joe Biden and his team, marks an end of a decades-long conflict that has claimed thousands of lives and displaced millions of people. The deal launches the recognition of a Palestinian state within the 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital, as well as the normalization of diplomatic relations between Israel and several Arab countries, such as Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and Morocco. This deal also provides for a two-state solution that respects the rights and aspirations of both peoples, as well as a comprehensive security arrangement that ensures stability and cooperation in the region. Now, my question is, where the hell did that come from? Where did that come from? Because, I mean, the last I knew, he was still stamping on heads, meaning Netanyahu was still stamping on Palestinian heads. Now, all of a sudden, there's a peace agreement? And why isn't that? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You question how come, the government admitting to aliens, how come that wasn't as big of a story as what it probably should have been? I have to ask the same thing. Is not a peace agreement between Israel and Palestine freaking huge? That's like enormous news. How come it's not being made so? I don't know what's up with this. I don't know what's up with the games, because again, let's play the Democrat-Republican crap game. Okay? Historically, normally, it's your Republicans, conservatives, that more support Israel, to where those on the left, not so much. So explain that, because they have been doing the lefty on everything. They've been lefting the hell out of everything they can get their hands on. So I have to ask, why all of a sudden, when it comes to Israel, are they so willing to work with them? And because, there is kind of a simple answer to that. Well, because, the left, I think, would be more likely to be more interested in a peace deal than what the right would. But my larger question to that is, why did Netanyahu agree to this? That's what really troubles me. I don't know what's going on, but it's something that probably we want to pay attention to. And I'm talking about the whole Israel thing, but I have a feeling maybe Iran is a part of this. Maybe compromises were made, and Iran just hasn't been let in on it yet. Just saying. Possibility. Keep your eye out for it. Next up, U.S. prepares drone swarm hellscape for China. Says U.S. military has launched a program to develop drone swarm technology, the Pentagon's number 2 official has said, suggesting the new systems are intended for future conflict with China. Speaking at a National Defense Industrial Association in India conference in Washington, D.C. on Monday, Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks outlined the weapons program dubbed Replicator, dun dun dun, which aims to deploy thousands of UAVs simultaneously on the land, sea, and air. Wow, that almost sounds patriotic. The official said that while the U.S. military still benefits from systems that are large, exquisite, expensive, and few, it has been slower to adopt platforms which are small, smart, cheap, and many, such as small, easily produced drones. She argued that the Chinese military has superior mass over U.S. forces, more ships, more missiles, more people, and stressed the need to overcome that advantage with innovative weapon systems. We'll counter the People's Liberation Army's mass with mass of our own, but ours will be harder to plan for, harder to hit, and harder to beat, Hicks said. See, I'm getting worked up. I think this is great. They're going to be the best damn program since Space Force. Anyway, keep at it, folks. But remember, China's been doing it for a long damn time, meaning the drone swarms. Who do you think makes the systems for the displays? Oh, I don't know. China. Let's see. I don't know, folks. You know, we are in a failed republic. When you have a fairly large number of senior and senile members of your so-called leadership. This is ridiculous. Quite frankly, it's embarrassing. And it shows, it exudes so much weakness. It went through great pains to make sure that different presidents throughout our history looked strong, even if they weren't. Now, well, they broadcast it to millions of people and then deny it. Usually what happens. This time it was Mitch McConnell again. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Kentucky Republican, froze up during a press conference on Wednesday and had to be led away by aides. His spokesperson later claimed the 81-year-old felt momentarily lightheaded. McConnell had been speaking at the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce Government Forum in Covington for about 20 minutes before the episode, according to the local TV station WLWT. A video one of their reporters posted on X, formerly Twitter, I wonder how long we're going to have to say this, shows McConnell's eyes rolling up and his mouth hanging open for a second. An aide walked up and asked the senator if he was all right. Then she winked at the reporters and said, "I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to need a minute." McConnell managed to focus and respond softly to another question, but then seemed not to hear the next one. Pardon me. Second aide came up and helped him off the podium, where he caught himself as if he was about to fall as he approached the chair, according to WLWT. Again, it's got to stop. And it doesn't... We just need to do the right thing. Not wait till elections. We need to get the geriatric word out of the administration. And we need to do it now. Not waiting for an election. Or we need more than anything to show the international community that we are willing to right this ship. I don't expect that to happen, but it's the only damn option we got if we want to seem like we got any damn strength left. That I can't spoil that book. It's a good book. But there are certainly connections to what I was just talking about and that book. if you by chance read it, you'll see it. You'll see the connection. You got to do the right thing. I really can't let that out because that would spoil the hell out of it. Ukraine to review all draft exemptions, says Zelensky. So now they're going to go back through the list of people that they passed over the first time through, and they're going to make them serve anyway. Huh. Prigozhin plane crash may have been deliberate, says Kremlin. you don't say. I mean, because I find it rather normal for an Embraer just to, I don't know, explode somewhere near the engines and float down like a frickin' maple leaf. Yeah, that's what normally happens when you fly one. Russian investigators are not ruling out foul play in the plane crash. Well, that's good news. That killed Wagner boss Evgeny Prigozhin, and will consider every possible scenario, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has told journalists. It is obvious that different versions exist and are being considered. Among them is the one involving a deliberate atrocity, he said on Wednesday, urging the media to wait for official updates from investigators. Asked about a Reuters report which claimed that Moscow had declined an offer of assistance from the Brazilian Aviation Authority, Peskov said that there could be no discussion on any international aspect and indicated that the investigation would be conducted domestically. Okay. Full stop. We don't need any more information. That was Putin's puppy. That was Putin's puppy. If Putin had even the slightest inkling of a thought that another nation could be involved, he'd be demanding international investigators, like he has so many times in the past when they've been accused of things. It would be the same thing. He would demand international investigators. Now they're saying, we got this. There's a reason. The whole government investigates itself gag. Japanese Prime Minister eats Fukushima lunch. And if you believe that, I've got some bridges and some marshland for sale. Fumio Kishida apparently made it appear like he ate food that came from that water. Now, this isn't the first time that people over there has done stuff like this to try to show you how they... But are they ready to talk about the homeless people that they had working there? They ready? Is TEPCO ready to talk about that? All those homeless people? Yeah, we can't talk to the homeless people. They're kind of not around anymore. They didn't seem to last very long after... Say, they never returned after you took them away. Huh. Took one hell of a chunk out of the homeless population, though, didn't ya? Yeah, we'll just move on. Too many pleasant thoughts of what they ought to do to that individual. Burger King. Now, this is the last tab I have open, and I saved it for last because I didn't want to be too enraged. Burger King, just like a man, you lied about the size of your Whopper. Yep. Burger King's bid to dismiss a lawsuit claiming the U.S. fast food giant cheated its customers by making its Whopper burger appear larger on menus than it is in reality has been rejected by a judge in a Miami federal court. The lawsuit, the latest in a series of false advertising cases initiated by consumers against fast food restaurant chains, accuses Burger King of presenting a misleading depiction of its Whopper burgers on in-store menu boards. According to the claim, the restaurant chain shows the Whopper with a meatier patty and ingredients that overflow over the bun, making it appear 35% larger with double the meat compared to the actual product. Burger King, owned by Restaurant Brands International, claimed that it's not required to make burgers that look exactly like the picture. However, U.S. District Judge Roy Altman ruled that it was up to jurors to tell us what reasonable people think. At the same time, the judge dismissed claims that Burger King had misled customers with its TV and online advertisement. Yeah, I think they heavily mislead people. How many times do you go to a fast food joint and get a burger that looks like that? It just doesn't happen. And why does that frustrate me? Because I've done the fast food gag. And I was taught by my uncle and aunt that it didn't matter what job I did. Didn't matter if I was a janitor. Didn't matter if I was a trash man. I was to do the best damn job that I could and take pride in my work. And so even when I worked at those fast food joints, even after I came in all messed up and stoned, whatever, I still did my best to produce a quality product. I tried to make my burgers look pleasing. I tried to make sure that they had a good amount of condiments and whatnot on them. I tried. I thought that was important. Believe me, it came back. For a while, I did overnight cooking there. And there was a fairly good-sized group of guys that would come in. I'm the only guy they wanted to cook for them. And anytime I go to a fast food place, which we don't, but I've been to a few over my life, hell, you can't even find the stuff on the burger. It's ridiculous. I even argued with a manager at McDonald's. Now, Hardee's is where I really took pride, but I worked there after McDonald's. But I remember getting into it with management at McDonald's because they said I was using too much lettuce. And I told them to get out the scale. And I weighed the lettuce, and I was pretty damn dead dick on. I mean, well, there were reasons why I was good at weighing stuff around that kind of weight, but nonetheless, I knew what a few grams was. So, anyway, turned out I was putting the right amount, and for the longest time, the back line workers weren't putting the right amount of lettuce on. They were putting way less than what it's supposed to get. And that's a bunch of BS, because lettuce is something that you should definitely pile on. Why? Because it, well, should be cheap, and it adds a lot to the burger. Not just taste-wise, but aesthetics. It really adds to it. There's a whole psychology and all kinds of crap behind fast food. Like why they salt the shit out of fries, or used to, was so that you'll keep coming back for more soda, because it didn't used to be free refills. Back when they started salting the fries like that, you didn't get free refills. And out of every product that restaurant's got, they make the most off the soda. Alright. What the hell? University of Nebraska claims world record for largest attendance at a women's sporting event with 92,003 for the Cornhuskers volleyball match. Now, if we're going to only get those 92,003 people to attend something actually useful, we might be able to turn this country around. But you can't do it. Turn right up for a ball game, but not for their country. Yay, go team! Alright, headlines. Alright, run through these and run out the door with my hair on fire. I mean, I could light it on fire and run out. Nah, I'll forego the lighting it on fire. I can pretend and scream anyway, though. Alright, Washington is waging war on Russia to the last Ukrainian, says Moscow. Sounds about right. Russia makes nuclear test promise. World faces shortage of key metals, says CNBC. That would be lithium, which, I'm not scared. Oh, but don't you? Oh, I know. Leave it up to the prepper channel. I thought they were supposed to be survivors. Seem a bunch of damn drama queens to me. So why am I not concerned about the damn lithium shortage? Well, first of all, is there really a lithium shortage? Because none of us can really answer that. And how much have they played this frickin' shortage game since 2019? And I'm not talking about the prepper channel fear-mongering of it. I'm talking even about the media talking about shortages. You know, where the prepper channels get a hold of it and then fear-monger it. Ain't scared. And the reason why I ain't scared is because I think they're about to release the new tech on batteries. I really do. There's a lot of interesting things, let's pull back from the idea that the whole world's about to glow in the dark. Let's talk about the tech world and innovation right now. A lot of really interesting things happening in the tech world. Especially the bleeding edge, if you will. Two companies we'll talk about. One, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, from my understanding, is going to stop production on their 40 series cards, which are their latest cards. That's their newest cards. From my understanding, they're going to stop production on them. And it's like it's pretty much mom's the word. Beyond that, they're not saying much. In a related business, Meta, which you might know of as owner of Facebook and Instagram, all kind of crap. Well, Meta also owns the Quest headsets. Like, I got the Quest 2. They had a Pro line, the Meta Quest Pro, I think it was like over $1,000. I don't know. I'm not goofy enough to do stuff like that. I'm just being really honest with you. Yeah, $1,000. So I didn't know. I didn't know exactly what it was. Looks like $1,000 for the MetaQuest Pro, which is this puppy right here. And yeah, apparently it's quite far ahead of the Quest 2, which is what I've got. The exact version that I've got, 128. But anyway, so this headset here, $300. The other headset, $1,000. Meta has quit production and development of their Pro line. Okay? Not even going to make any more of these. They're not going to develop any more of them. They're done. They're not done with VR. Far from it. They're done with quote-unquote high-end VR. Why? Because the simple fact of the matter is this technology is adapting and growing so fast that by the time their engineers can get, the hardware designed and everything, their software designers get the software all squared away, by the time they get that product out to market, it's already so outdated they can't feasibly put out there a Pro line and charge $1,000 for it, because the same people that was aspiring to get that device could just wait a few months and somebody else would release a device that would have those same capabilities for much, much cheaper. So Meta seen this. They saw the writing on the wall. You got Apple coming out with a $3,500 headset, right? Because they're freaking idiots. But you want to know who's bigger idiots? All the people that buy it, because I don't know why, they're just freaking idiots. Meta sees this and they're saying, no, we're going to back up, because this technology is just advancing and growing so fast that people aren't going to waste their money buying the quote-unquote high-end stuff when they could wait a few months and get a device that has those capabilities anyway for a lot cheaper. So I don't know when, but they're working on a Quest 3, a Meta Quest 3 that I think should be coming out before too awful long, and they're looking at about a $500 price tag on that. And from my understanding, if I understand correctly, the Meta Quest 3 will have way more capability than that $1,000 Meta Quest Pro you're looking at. So for half the money, more capability. So that's telling me, when we've got this happening with VR headsets, we got this happening with high-end graphics cards, there's about to be some big changes. For one, I think they're getting ready to once again change CPU architecture and whatnot. I think they're kind of stuck until they do make some type of a significant change. I think they're at a plateau for as far as like in processing and stuff. We're going to see some interesting stuff. I really do. If we don't wind up glowing in the next few months, I think we're about to see some interesting stuff. But the whole lithium thing, the battery thing, don't sweat it. That's another thing that they're about to come out with something. I can tell you that. You can just, it's the right amount of timing. It's time for them to release the new battery technology. So, and I think you're going to see us move away from lithium. So, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But, these corporations, these industries, They will do this. They will intentionally do this in order to cause a frenzy, to get people to start buying up their raw materials and stuff like that to make sure that they've got it when they know there is a change coming. Basically, they're trying to clear out all their stuff. So I think that's probably more likely what's going on right now. They're trying to sell as much lithium as they can because lithium's not going to be where it's at very, very soon. So it's time for a battery chemistry change, I'm telling you. Lithium's been around for long enough. It's extremely dangerous. It's extremely toxic. You know, it's not a bad material for the purpose, but there's better out there now. There's better technology out there now that's much less harmful to the environment, much less dangerous. So, and you don't have a bunch of little kids going and mining it out of the ground. Those are all good things. Let's see. Russia's e-visa scheme drives sharp increase in tourist bookings. Hungary would go to war if energy supplies were attacked, says Orban. Pope Francis became instrument of Russian propaganda, says Zelensky's aide. Biden doesn't understand Russian, says Orban. Pretty sure Biden don't understand Americans. Russian warplane sinks Ukrainian speedboat in Black Sea, says Moscow. British MPs call Taiwan independent country. European banks losing customer deposits, says S&P. Wildfires break out near major Russian resort city. Imagine that. iPhone imports on the rise in Russia, says Vitamosti. Kiev turns down peace advice from NATO country leader. EU set to import record volume of Russian LNG, says data. Zelensky aide rules out peace talks with Russia. Russians becoming more negative about LGBTQ, says a survey. Skulls wants immediately effective weapons for Ukraine. Let's see. Goldman Sachs used Chinese government money to buy Western firms. Not surprising. Zelensky bombed first Biden meeting, says media. Wow, I'm about already through these. Borrell calls for intensified EU training of Ukrainian conscripts. Let's see. North Korea conducts nuclear strike drill. And we've got another one up there. Oh, opinion piece. We don't share opinion pieces. Alright. That's it. Pulled that off like a band-aid. Alright. I am out of here. I am going to pretend to light my hair on fire and pretend to run around the house screaming, the end is nigh, the end is nigh. So, the hospital gives me these little pills to help me go to sleep. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, I'm getting the hell out of here. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow, and I hope to see you then. Thanks for coming tonight. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.